Are you worried about getting your KDP account terminated? Then watch this video because I'm going to show you exactly how to prevent it from ever happening. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean and I've built and sold a 7-figure publishing business, and now I'm building my second KDP account. So if you want no BS publishing advice from someone who's actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. And if you want a completely free training on how I built a 7-figure publishing business, then the link to the free training is in the description below. All right, so once in a while in my free Facebook group and different Facebook groups that I'm in for Amazon KDP and publishing, I hear people saying that my KDP account was terminated and I did absolutely nothing wrong. So in this video, I'm going to show you what to do if that happens, and most importantly, how to prevent it from ever happening. Now, the first thing you want to do is to not listen to random people in random Facebook groups or forums saying they got banned from KDP for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Because the brutal truth is they most likely did something wrong and they most likely know exactly what they did, but they don't want to admit it. So they're saying they did nothing wrong. But either way, if you follow this video, I'm very confident that you'll never run into this issue. So here are the most common reasons why people lose their KDP account. The first one is duplicate content. So a lot of people use the exact same interior and they just switch up the book cover and spam a ton of books on KDP. And this happens typically for people who publish no content books or low content books like notebooks or journals, because the content inside is the same and they just switch up the cover. Well, you don't really want to do that. It used to work before and it's still getting accepted now, but it's pretty sketchy and you really don't want to keep doing it. Now, it's especially sketchy if you do this for medium content books or high content books, because if you do that, then you're probably going to get banned immediately. So definitely don't do that. Change up the interior, make each book that you publish unique and original, that stands out from each other. Now, another thing is using template pages where you can, get it from, let's say, Creative Fabrica or Canva templates or other templates that you grab from websites, and then you just put it in your book and upload it without doing any editing at all. So using those templates are great. You can use Creative Fabrica. I use it all the time in different websites, but the thing is, you can't just download, put it in your book and upload as is, because a lot of other people are doing the same thing, and now your content is the exact same as their content and you run into duplicate content issue. So that's why if you're going to use a template, you always want to modify the template so that the content is original. Okay, so the only exception to this duplicate content rule is creating bundles. So if you put together the books that you already published and put it into a bundle and sell it as is, then technically this content in the bundle is the same as the content in your single books, but that is okay because you're selling it as a bundle. But besides that, you definitely do not want to do this. So the next one is keyword stuffing. So this mainly happens in the title, subtitle, author name. A lot of people will stuff keywords so that they can rank in additional keywords. An example of this is if you create a pen name that says awesome animal coloring book for kids 8 to 12, that is a keyword, but you're using as a pen name, that's not okay, and you definitely don't want to do that. Also, just having a bunch of keywords in the subtitle to the point where the subtitle, sounds very messy, you also don't want to do that too. So the next one is misleading content. So this is something like the content not related to what the title promises. So if you make a big claim in the title saying this is what's included in the book or this is what the book is about, but the content does not follow through with that, that could get you in trouble. Now, a lot of people I see offer fake bonuses. So they say, if you download this book, you're going to get this audiobook or this bonus, and then they don't actually give that, which is very bad, and it definitely is going to fall into the misleading content where you could lose your account, or you will lose your account over time. So basically anything that causes a poor customer experience, if you ever get an email from KDP, they'll say that it's misleading content. And it's very easy. I mean, if you want to prevent your account from getting banned, then all you got to do is just ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now leading to a good customer experience or a poor customer experience? And if it's the latter, then you just don't do that. Now, a great example of a bunch of people creating misleading content and most likely gonna eventually get banned is, I see a lot of this in various keywords, but especially under this one, because you can see that this book, they're saying that this book is a 16 book in one bundle. Okay, this one is a 10 book in one. This one is 14 books in one. This is 14 books in one again. And everybody's packaging it up and selling their book as like a huge box set, right? 16 books in one. But if you actually click on this and analyze it a little more, it literally only has 300 pages. So how can a 300-page bundle include 16 books? It's just like statistically impossible. That is like each book being 20 pages or less. And if you look inside here in the table of contents, you literally have book number 1 only has 2 chapters, and then book number 2 has, once again, 2 chapters. Book number 3 has 2 chapters, and so on. So each book only contains like 1 or 2 chapters, and it's super short. And the reason why they do this is because obviously they're trying to increase perceived value, because, you know, if you say 16 books in one, the customer is going to be like, oh, I'm getting so much value just for the price of 1 book. But in reality, this is just 1 book. You know, it's not 16 books in one, it's just 16 chapters maybe. So it is breaking that, you know, misleading content guideline big time. So if you see these kind of books, what you can do is actually report it. I don't want to create this culture of reporting your competitors and this and that. Please don't do that. But, you know, obviously this is borderline scam, right? And I hate to see that. I hate people doing fake reviews and stuff like that. So what you can do is go down to important information. If you click on here, you can follow this prompt to report suspicious activity and just report it to KDP, because these few people abusing KDP guidelines and, you know, doing this is really ruining it for everybody else who's following the rules, you know, trying to publish the right way. And this just makes it hard for all of us. Now, once again, please don't report your competitors just because they're your competitors, even though they're doing nothing wrong, because if you do that, honestly, only losers do that. But if they are doing something wrong like this, then I feel like it's completely justified to report them. All right, so the next reason why you could get banned is multiple KDP accounts. And there's actually nuance to this, because you could have 1 account per entity. An entity is such as you have 1 account under your personal name, but if you create another company such as an LLC, that is an entity. So you could create another KDP account under that LLC. Technically, you will have 2 accounts. That is completely fine. And trust me, this is not something I'm making this up. I'm confirming with all the big time authors, big time publishers, even asking KDP directly. It is completely fine. And if you don't believe me, you should email KDP support yourself as well. But the issue happens when you have multiple KDP accounts under 1 entity, such as under your personal name. If you create multiple, that is against the guidelines. So if you do want to create multiple KDP accounts, you just need to create an LLC, which you just need a separate name, tax ID, phone number, email address, and bank account. That is all you need. A lot of people freak out about the same IP address and stuff like that. You don't have to do that. If you want a service that helps you form companies, then there is a company that I recommend called Prime Corporate Services. There's a link in the description below. So this is how I did it. I basically had 1 account under my personal name and another account under my LLC. So please stop asking me in every single video when I say that I sold my first account and I am building my second account. Basically, I just have separate LLC, and especially because I sold my first account, I don't even have my first account. I only have 1 KDP account now. But literally every single video, people are telling me, hey, you are breaching the guidelines. You're not supposed to do that. You have 2 KDP accounts, this and that. Even if I do have KDP accounts, it's completely fine because it's under a separate entity. But once again, I sold the first one, so I only have 1 KDP account right now, okay? So please stop asking me about that. So the next one is ripping off another book. And this is a huge one. If you create a book cover that is similar to your competitor's title, that is very similar, you know, author name as well, even though that book title is not trademark or copyright, because you cannot copyright a book title. Even if that's the case, if it's still very, very obvious that you're ripping off their title, then you will get in trouble. So an example of this is creating a title like Rich Father, Poor Father, right? It's very obvious that you're trying to piggyback off of a very popular title, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you will get banned for it. Now, this is an example of someone who's trying to piggyback off of a very famous title. Now, this book survived the Amazon KDP reviews, right? And they're, you know, selling well, been around for years and years. But technically, the pen name Brandon Goldman, the last name Goldman is coming from Daniel Goleman, who is, I believe he's a professor that, you know, coined the term emotional intelligence. He was the first one to really talk about emotional intelligence and write a book on it. And there's a very famous book on it. And this publisher is using the same last name to try and play off of that. And hopefully some people make a mistake thinking this is the real author and buy his book instead of the actual Daniel Goleman. So I think that is very scammy and you don't really want to do that. All right, so the next one is irrelevant categories. So this falls into the metadata manipulation. Basically, you add your book in categories that is completely unrelated to your book topic just so that you can get the bestseller badge. And that will get you in trouble because, once again, it's misleading content, metadata manipulation, and it leads to poor customer experience. Now, the next one is plagiarism. Super simple. We all know not to do this, so just don't plagiarize. Next one is review manipulation, so getting fake reviews. So going back to this book, not only are they doing this whole 14 books in one lies, but if you look at the review history, so I have this tool called Bookbeam. There's a link in the description. It is a paid tool, but it's very useful because you can see, you know, all these data and then the sales history, review history as well. But if I look at the review history here, go back to all time, this book literally started, you know, let's say they got up to 190 review organically. This is real reviews. I doubt it, but let's just say, because I only have data all the way back to here, right? But then literally in one day, they jumped from 187 reviews to 364 reviews. So they doubled in a day. And then a lot of them got deleted because those are fake reviews. And then once again, in December 2nd, they went from 284 reviews to 934 reviews in one day. That is 700 reviews in a day. And then it kept getting deleted once again. So they topped it up again, right? From 363 reviews, jumped to 780 reviews, got deleted again. They did it again. They went up all the way to 1,186 reviews. Once again, added 700 reviews, and then it got deleted all the way down to 173. So this is what I mean by fake reviews. There are a ton of people who do this, but thankfully Amazon is changing and they are getting better at deleting these reviews as well as closing down accounts of people who do this. So next is turning no and low content books into ebooks. So it pretty much applies to any other book types too, but if you have a book that is not usable as an ebook, but then you turn it into an ebook and sell it, then that'll get you in trouble. Now, this might change in the future as Kindle Scribe becomes more popular, and Amazon is coming up with their own Kindle tablets that you can actually journal in and stuff. So there might be a future where you can have a journal and you can publish it as an ebook, and I think that'll be a huge opportunity. But for now, you cannot do this. The next one is trademark violation. So this is, once again, a very obvious one. You don't want to publish under any trademarks. Instant Pot, Pokemon, Disney, these are some examples, but there's a lot more. So you want to check this uspto.gov site or TESS before publishing. Now, there's a bunch of videos on how to do this. I'm not going to go into detail here. So just look up how to check for trademarks for your book or something like that on YouTube. The next one is low quality content. So just publishing a bunch of books that is super low quality. If they deem that you are spamming the Amazon marketplace, they will shut your account down. Even if you're not doing any other thing that's mentioned in this video, if you just have a bunch of books that gets 1-star reviews, I saw a few people that lost their accounts. And obviously that is something that you should not be worried about, because you should not be publishing a bunch of books that gets multiple 1-star reviews. I mean, it's not that easy to get a bunch of 1-star reviews. Typically, if you just try to make a good book, you will at least get 3 stars or above. The next one is Google translating books. So I know a few people who got banned from this, but if you have an English book and you use Google Translate to turn it into Spanish books, German, etc., then you will get banned, because it really comes down to low quality content. So it's the same thing as this one. So if you're just spamming a bunch of low quality books, that's not something that the customers are happy buying, then you will lose your account. The next one is 100% AI written books. So a lot of people will debate me on this, but I'm not saying using AI is bad. I'm not saying that you will lose your account if you use AI. It's not the fact that you used AI that'll get you in trouble, but rather you're using 100% AI content and you're just copy pasting it without editing, without improving the text, nothing. Because 9 times out of 10, if you just copy paste AI content without editing, the content is not that good. So if you just spam a bunch of books that is 100% AI content, then it goes back to this low quality content, and you will get in trouble because of that. Not because you use AI, but just because you spammed a bunch of low quality books. So once again, you can use AI to generate content, that's completely fine, but always improve upon it and add your own touch to it. Next is offensive content. So promoting hate speech, violence, gore, those kind of things will get you in trouble too. So what should you do after all of this? Well, just don't do what's mentioned in this video. It's pretty simple, and it's not a lot, and it's very basic. I mean, if you think about it, everything falls back to poor customer experience. So everything you do, you just ask yourself, is this going to cause a poor customer experience, or is what I'm doing, creating a positive customer experience, right? If the answer is yes, it is a positive experience activity, then just do that. But if you feel like, oh, I should probably not add my book in irrelevant categories, because if a customer looks into that category and find my book that's completely irrelevant to this category, that's probably going to lead to poor customer experience, right? So just ask yourself that and just don't do that. It's very, very simple. Now, if you always think of providing high quality content to customers, you should be fine. Now, what to do if you get your account suspended? Now, suspension is not termination, is two different things. Now, you do see some videos online on YouTube on KDP accounts being accidentally suspended. I have no idea why, because it never happened to me in 7 years of publishing, but I do see it happening to other people once in a while. The thing is, often KDP gives you multiple warnings before termination or before suspension. So if you just reply back and say, okay, I'll fix whatever warning they give you, then usually you're fine. So what you want to do is exactly that. Email KDP back immediately, fix whatever issues they brought up immediately, right? Literally respond every single day, or as soon as possible to their emails. And even if you accidentally get suspended, you just email back and talk to KDP, and pretty much everybody I know get their account back. If you watch any videos on how their account gets suspended, they always get it back. So in 7 years of publishing, I literally do not know a single person who got permanently banned for doing absolutely nothing wrong. Once again, suspension happens all the time, but people who got suspended always get their account back in the end, and people who permanently get banned is always doing something wrong. So you never really get permanently banned for doing absolutely nothing wrong. So in conclusion, is Amazon being a tyrant? Well, no, you can sell on any other websites and they will ban you if you don't follow the rules. It's literally the same thing. So just play by the rules. It's very simple. Just provide good customer experience and you should be good to go. All right, guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, before you go, I want to invite you to check out my Road to Hero program, which is a complete publishing course. Now, it's not just video lessons. It's so much more. There's so much hand-holding that comes into it with one-on-one coaching sessions. You get weekly Q&A call, private Facebook group where you can ask questions, and a bunch of 10K plus publishers will answer it for you. So it really is a complete program that is designed to help you scale your publishing business so you can achieve freedom as well. It is not the cheapest program, and that is exactly why I make these kind of videos, to help you for free to start making money on Amazon KDP. And hopefully once you start making money, you'll be ready to join us in the program and scale it even further. So if you do want to check it out, the link is in the description below, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend in your publishing business. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, comment any questions you have, and I'll see you guys in the next one.